Hey, pastors, I want to give you 5 keys to developing the best leaders around you that you can. Hey, I'm Jerry Lawson with 24 to Double, and what we do is develop leaders, develop pastors, and put church systems in place that help your church to grow. I just want to give you some free content today. 5 keys to developing the best leaders. And I got this. I want to give props out to Pastor Chris Hodges, who's a mentor of mine. And I got this information from him. I was in a round table just last week. And I just want to go right through these 5 and talk to you about them just a little bit. If you're going to develop a team, first of all, let me back up and say, if you're going to change the world, if you're going to just fulfill God's call on your life, you're going to need a team. And to put together the right kind of team, it'd be great if super amazing, great leaders just showed up at your doorstep, came to your church and said, hey, I want to be on board. And if that happens, stop and thank God for it, okay? But most of the time, you're going to have just willing people who will do something and give it their all, but they're just not capable of doing a whole lot. And that's where you come into play. God sent you there to develop them into the best leaders they can. Let me give you 5 things you need to do. Number 1 is really simple. Meet regularly with leaders. Make it, see, a lot of times we say, yeah, we're going to get together. Hey, I'm going to talk. Give me a call or a text sometime. No, right then, make an appointment. Make it a priority in your life that you're going to meet regularly. Once a week is a great way to do it. Have a regular lunch or a regular coffee. Meet regularly with one leader at a time, maybe a handful, 4 or 5 leaders at a time. That's the first step. Write it down, make a calendar appointment to meet regularly. Here's the second one. Listen to their dreams. Ask them, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be in 5 years? What do you want to be said about you at your funeral? What does God put in your heart? If money and time were no object, if opportunity were never limited, what would you do with your life? And just listen. Out of that conversation is going to spring all kinds of ideas, a lot of advice, and most of all, some buy-in. They're going to know that you care. We've all heard the old adage, and it's true. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So start right there at the beginning of those meetings. Tell me your dreams. Tell me what's in your heart. So we're going to meet regularly. We're going to ask their dreams and listen to them. Thirdly, learn together. Sit down together and read a book together. Say, this is a book that just is a great author. Maybe you've never read from him. Let's read this book together. And some pastors are like, I don't know how to lead somebody. I don't know how to develop them. Well, John Maxwell will develop them for you. You just buy the book, sit down, read it together, and just learn together. I have had some of the greatest relationships built around good leadership books. And so it doesn't have to be a leadership book. It could be a spiritual book, but find a book that you would read together and you learn together. That's the third step. So we're going to meet regularly. We're going to listen to their dreams. We're going to learn together. And number 4, require them to pass it on. Now, this is an integral step. I was so blessed by Pastor Chris Hodges when he told me this. Make sure that before we come back, you tell me who you shared this with. Maybe they're leading people as well. Maybe they're a young person, they're leading teenagers. Or maybe they're just calling someone on the phone saying, hey, this is what I learned. But you require them. Say, hey, I'm giving you something. And help them understand that it's more valuable than money. This content, this leadership advice, this mentoring is valuable. And I'm not going to keep giving it to you unless you're giving it to someone else. So the 4th step is encourage them to give it away to somebody else. You see, every mentoring relationship ought to be 3-pronged. I should be mentoring up. In other words, someone who is above me in the Lord or beyond where I am. I should be mentoring down. Someone that is lower in leadership or underneath my covering. And I should also be mentoring vertically. Someone's on the same level with me. You want to teach them that and tell them to share that with someone else. All right, and here's number 5. Let me recap. Meet regularly with leaders. Listen to their dreams. Learn together. Read a book together. Learn together. Number 4, require them to pass it on. And then here's number 5. Ask them to help me solve a problem. This is where they'll really get buy-in. Instead of it being what you do and your job or your project, let it be our project. Hey, I'm working on this. Could you do this research and help me figure out what the solution is? Hey, I'm going to go to the church and, rearrange one of the classrooms. Would you come up there and help me? Doesn't have to be life-changing, but just do something together. See, when you look through Scripture, not everything that Elijah and Elisha are doing together is changing the world, but they're working together. They're growing together. And you know what, pastors? You have more to offer than you think you do. So be careful not to take yourself too lightly. You can change someone else's life if you'll be intentional about it. So, hey, I'm Jerry Lawson with 24 to Double. I'd love for you to know more about 24 to Double. So in the comments below, there's a link, 24trial.com. You can try out 24 to Double for just $7. So 24trial.com. We'd love for you to connect with us, see what we're all about, and let us add value to your church and help you learn how to put systems in place that'll grow your church. God bless you. Until next time.